She said something to you, something small, something quiet, and you almost missed it. But your body didn't. Something shifted, something in the air changed, and now you're here, wondering what it means, wondering if it's real. If this resonates with you, subscribe right now. Calm, no rush, just press it. Because what we discuss here is not surface level, it never is. Let's start at the beginning, not the words, the moment before the words. She looked at you differently, not longer, just differently, like she was seeing something she hadn't seen before, or something she had seen before but was only now allowing herself to acknowledge. That look, that is the first language. Before words exist, she speaks in stillness, in posture, in the way she turns just slightly toward you when you enter a room. You are not imagining it. Here is what most people never understand about women. She does not fall in love loudly. She does not announce it. She does not wave a flag. She whispers, she hints, she tests, she waits, not because she is unsure, but because she is careful, because she has been burned before, because the world has taught her that showing too much too soon makes her vulnerable, and vulnerability without safety is not love, it is exposure. So she guards it, she holds it close, she lets it build like pressure behind a door, and she watches you, she studies you, not in a calculating way, in a feeling way. She is asking herself without words, can I trust this? Can I let this in? Is this man the kind of man who will hold what I give him with both hands? Or will he drop it the moment something easier comes along? That is the real question. Not whether she loves you. She already knows the answer to that. The question is whether you are ready, whether you are solid, whether you are the kind of man who stays when things get complicated, who listens when it would be easier to walk away, who chooses not out of convenience, but out of conviction. Now, let's talk about what she says, when she is already in love, when the door is already open, even if she hasn't invited you through yet. She says things, specific things. And if you are paying attention, you will hear them, not just with your ears, with your gut. She tells you about her past, not the polished version, the real version, the parts that didn't work out, the things she is still carrying, the wounds that haven't fully healed. She doesn't do this with everyone. She doesn't do this easily. She does this because somewhere inside her, she has decided that you are worth the risk, that you are someone who can hold her story without using it against her, without flinching, without running. Pay attention to this. When a woman tells you the truth about herself, she is not just making conversation. She is handing you something precious. Receive it accordingly. She asks you about your future, not because she is planning, not yet, but because she is curious whether your future has room in it, whether the life you are building is the kind of life that makes sense alongside hers. She is not trying to trap you. She is trying to see, to understand, to know whether the direction you are walking is one she could walk beside. This is not pressure. This is interest, real interest, the kind that comes only when someone has stopped being neutral about you. She remembers the small things, what you ordered that first time, what you said about your father, the way you laughed at something no one else found funny. She stores these things, not obsessively, tenderly, because people only remember what they care about, and she cares about you. She has already cared about you longer than you probably know. She becomes quieter around you, not cold. Quiet. There is a difference. Cold is absence. Quiet is presence. When a woman who is usually composed becomes still around you, becomes softer, less performative, less concerned with how she appears, that is not indifference. That is trust. She is not performing anymore. She is just being, and she is choosing to be in your presence. She starts to protect her time with you. She rearranges things. She says no to other things so she can say yes to this. That is not nothing. Her time is her life, and she is giving you pieces of it, willingly, not out of obligation, out of genuine desire. She argues with you, not to fight, to connect. Women who feel nothing do not argue, they disengage. They go quiet in the wrong way, they disappear. but a woman who pushes back, who challenges you, who refuses to simply agree with everything you say. She is still here. She is still invested. She cares enough to disagree. She cares enough to be honest with you. And honesty requires caring. Indifference is easy. Truth takes effort. She introduces you to her world, not the public world, the private one, her friends, the ones she actually trusts, her favorite places, the ones that feel like home to her, her small rituals, the things she does when no one is watching. This is not casual. This is invitation. She is saying, come inside. See who I really am. Not just who I show the world, but the version of me that only exists when I feel safe enough to stop pretending. And here is what you must understand. This is where most men fail, not out of cruelty, out of unawareness. They see the door open, and they walk through carelessly. They don't realize what it took for her to open it. They don't realize how long she stood on the other side debating whether to turn the handle. They don't realize that the privilege of entry comes with responsibility. She is not asking you to be perfect. She is not asking you to have everything figured out. She is not asking for a flawless man with no history and no wounds of his own. She is asking for something simpler and harder. She is asking you to be present, truly present, not distracted, not half there, not already thinking about the next thing while she is still talking. Present, in the room, in the conversation, in the relationship. She is asking you to be consistent, not exciting every single day. Consistent. There is a difference. Excitement fades. Consistency builds something. Consistency says, I was here yesterday, I am here today, and I will be here tomorrow. Not because I have to be, because I choose to be. Every single time. She is asking you to see her, not the version of her that is easy to love, the full version, the complicated one, the one with fears and contradictions and days where she doesn't make sense even to herself. See that woman. Choose that woman, not in spite of her complexity. Because of it. Because she is real, and real is rare, and rare is worth everything. Subscribe if you haven't already. Right now. Because these conversations matter. And the men who are willing to have them, the men who are willing to sit with truth without flinching, those are the men worth becoming. Now let's go deeper. Because there is something we haven't talked about yet. Something underneath all of this. The real reason she guards herself. The real reason she tests without testing. The real reason she speaks in hints instead of declarations. She has a history, like all of us, but hers is specific. She has been the one who loved more. She has been the one who waited. She has been the one who gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left to give. And she looked up one day and the person she had given everything to was already looking somewhere else. That doesn't leave you unchanged. That teaches you things. Hard things. Like protect yourself. Like don't move too fast. Like love is real, but so is loss, and you cannot afford to be destroyed again. So she builds something, not a wall. People always say wall. It is not a wall. It is a door with a lock. And she holds the key. And she does not give the key to just anyone. She gives it to the one who has shown her over time, through actions not words, that he will not use it to hurt her. Are you that man? Not in theory, not in your intentions, in your behavior, in your consistency, in the way you show up even when it would be easier not to, in the way you follow through on the small things, because the small things are not small to her. The small things are the test. The small things are the proof. She does not need grand gestures. She needs reliability. She needs to know that when she reaches for you, you will be there. Not sometimes. Not when it is convenient. When she reaches for you. Period. Here is an uncomfortable truth. Most men are not rejected because they are not good enough. They are rejected because she could not trust them to stay. She saw potential. She felt something real. But she also saw the exits. She saw the way he got restless, the way his attention drifted, the way he gave her his best for a few months and then slowly became someone different. Not a bad person, just not someone she could count on, And she cannot love someone she cannot count on, not fully, not the way she wants to love. The woman who is already in love with you is watching for this. She is not cynical, she is realistic. She is asking herself, will he stay? Not just physically, but emotionally. Will he still be curious about me in 2 years? Will he still want to know what I am thinking? Will he still find me interesting when the newness has faded and we are just two people living a real life together? That is the question underneath every question. That is the love story beneath the love story. Can you handle the long game? Not the beginning, the middle. The long, quiet, unglamorous middle, where love is not a feeling but a decision you make every single morning before your feet even touch the floor. She is worth that decision. Not because she is perfect, because she is real, because she chose to love you in a world that told her to protect herself, because she opened the door knowing the risk, because she said those things, those quiet things, those small things, that told you everything if only you were paying attention. Do not miss this. Do not be the man who realized too late what was standing right in front of him. Do not be the man who was so busy performing strength that he forgot to simply be present. Do not be the man who had the thing he had always wanted and let it slip away, because he did not know how to receive it. Receiving love is its own kind of skill. It requires you to be still, to stop proving, to stop competing, to stop being impressive and simply be real. She is not looking for impressive. She has seen impressive. Impressive burns out. She is looking for real. Real lasts. Real builds. Real is the foundation everything else is built on. And if you are watching this and you are a woman, hear this. The love you want is not out of reach, but it begins with you, with how you see yourself, with whether you believe you are worth the kind of love that stays. Because you are. Not because someone told you, not because you earned it, because you exist, and your existence is enough. You do not have to perform. You do not have to shrink. You do not have to be the convenient version of yourself to be loved. The right love will not ask you to be smaller. It will ask you to be fuller, more yourself, more honest, more present, not less. Choose that. Choose the love that makes you more of who you already are. Not the love that slowly erodes you. Not the love that asks you to disappear. The love that says, I see you, all of you, and I am not going anywhere. That is what she was saying when she said those things. When she told you about her past, when she remembered the small details, when she argued with you because she cared too much to stay quiet, when she made room for you in her carefully guarded life. She was saying, I see something here, I feel something here, and I am brave enough to let it matter. Be worthy of that bravery. Be the man who rises to meet her honesty with his own. Be the man who does not run from depth, who does not panic when things become real, who does not retreat the moment vulnerability enters the room. Stay. Not because it is easy, because it is worth it, because she is worth it. Because the life that gets built on the other side of that staying is not something you can manufacture anywhere else. It is specific, it is yours, and it is waiting. This is the final thing, the most important thing. Love is not a destination, it is a direction. You do not arrive at love, you walk toward it, every day, with intention, with humility, with the willingness to be wrong sometimes and to come back anyway, to apologize, not because you are weak, because you are honest. Honesty in love is the most powerful thing a man can offer, not money, not status, not strength, truth, the truth of who you are, offered without performance, without armor, just you, real and present and choosing her, every single day. That is what she was saying. When she told you, when she let you in, she was saying, I am already here, are you? Subscribe now. Stay with these conversations, the ones that go beneath the surface. The ones that ask something real of you. Because the man you become is built in moments like this, in the quiet, in the reflection, in the willingness to sit with truth and let it change you. That is where it begins. Right here, right now.